Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new stream here on the channel. And on today's stream, I will be discussing Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market while we're right now actually coming back up very quickly again. So guys, on today's video, we're going to go more in depth about what we're currently seeing here in the market. We're going to go more in depth about what we're currently seeing going on in the world and why Bitcoin moved down here, because we've got a very easy explanation what currently is going on and what the exact reasons are why we are moving down right now here. Because yes, Russia declared war against Ukraine. Russia invaded Ukraine, dropping bombs on several airports, resulting in right now, of course, an invasion of Russia to Ukraine, resulting in, of course, the Bitcoin price action, and of course as well the price action of the stock market absolutely collapsing. So right now we're going to discuss everything what we're going to see here. As well, I will be going over the funding rates because yes, there is a lot of fear in the market. We do know it. The market is continuously coming down, but we will be probably not see this for a very long period of time. The market is indeed coming down right now here, but I don't believe that we're going to see this this structure that the market is falling down so quickly because of the Russia-Ukraine stuff. Continuously come down, because funding rates are so extremely negative, resulting in so much over leveraged shorters in the market, giving me a clear signal that it is actually not the most smartest position to short the market over here. So yeah, I'm not saying necessarily, oh, you have to hold all your Bitcoin. I mean, I will be definitely holding my Bitcoin, but I'm also not saying short or long this market. I think you should definitely be a little bit more conscious. I'm still in long positions. Actually, on the dip, I've been accumulating some extra Ethereum positions. Literally in the past hour, I accumulated a mine Ethereum position that's right now already up more than 14% in profit. I accumulated that Ethereum position because I think right now it is a very good time to accumulate this position, because first of all, Ethereum trading below the $2,400. Second of all, Ethereum merge is coming up this winter, this summer. I'm really anticipating a big hype run up at that point. And right now, since the market is pretty low, market crash together with the negative funding rates, for me, it is once again showing me a good accumulation range here. So yeah, the market is still continuously falling further down, but it doesn't take away that it will be still keep dollar cost averaging in further in towards the market. Actually, markets were looking pretty strong yesterday since we did came up back in towards an uptrend. We broke above the previous high, like you can see over here, but then we saw this news article coming out, of course, on CNBC here. We saw that Russia, of course, attacked Ukraine, and basically war broke out here. And that is, of course, absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible what we can see over here. Bitcoin plunges as Putin announcing a special military operation in Ukraine here. So that's the whole reason why Bitcoin is coming down right now here. And Vitalik is saying something about it, but I can't really read it, actually. But I don't think he's really happy on it, of course. What he's basically saying here, reminder, Ethereum is neutral, but I am not. Okay, that's very nice to see here that he is against the war, of course. So of course, war is absolutely terrible, but yeah, it is what it is here, and we can't really change anything about it because we don't have any influence on that perspective here, what the world is doing in that case here. If I'm going to look at towards the 4 LA time frame, it is actually looking pretty interesting. Momentum is still shifting back up here. We can see several momentum indicators still gaining more strength here on the charts here. So what we can currently see is that the MACD is, of course, growing in its moving averages. It's forming higher lows, while the price action still continuously coming down here. Together with the money flow index, we're seeing the exact same here. Money flow index keep continuously performing higher lows there. Price action performing lower lows, as well, giving a signal that there could be, of course, a very big possibility that there's going to be some more strength in this market right here, even though we're keep continuously falling down. If I'm going to look at the daily time frame, it's going to be very important that we're going to hold on towards this $35,000 level. Actually, I would love to see, of course, this daily candle close above the 36.8k, because if we could still manage to close above the 36.8k, basically the previous low in the market over here, we are still in for a higher low and a double bottom from this point, of course. Otherwise, if we do break below this level over here, I mean, I warned everyone already about it. As soon as we do break below the 36.8k, we're going to be visiting the 35k. If we fail to hold on towards the $35,000, I personally expect price targets around to $29,000. So it is actually looking like we are in a very critical range of the market, and this is a very important stage where the market has to be starting to be coming up again here. Because if the market is not going to start coming up again here from up this point. And if we're going to be breaking this horizontal range of the 35,000 US dollars, we're going to be absolutely look terrible, because then we're definitely going to be in for some more downside in this market. Of course, if we're basically as well, before going further towards the technical analysis, if we're basically looking across the market, we're seeing a lot of red here. We can see Ethereum is taking a very big hit here. Bitcoin as well 6% down here, BNB 10% down, XRP 10%, Cardano 13% here, trading on 80 cents, guys. It's absolutely crazy levels that we're right now trading on. Avalanche down 12% today, Dogecoin 14%, definitely deserves to be a little bit more down here since it is a meme coin. As well, Polygon 13% down here, Crypto.com, Kronos, I don't know, did they change up their name? Kronos, apparently they did change up their name here. Kronos price. So Kronos down 13%. I was not aware about that one. Cosmos, of course, as well 11% down. Chainlink 16% down. So there are a lot of big losers in the game, and actually like Chainlink coming down so significantly shows once again a good accumulation range for these cryptocurrencies, of course. So it is definitely very interesting what we're seeing and the opportunities that right now are occurring here on the market, because yes, if the market is in downtrends, that is definitely the plan to be start accumulating, because then your chance of getting a better entry is way more significant. As well, we're going to look at the Bitcoin weekly chart here. We can clearly see, of course, we have been trading in a significant uptrend, and I would love to see, of course, this uptrend holding up here. Let me quickly draw this correctly. I would love to see this uptrend holding us up here, because right now we are trading below of the uptrend. If we're going to trade below of the uptrend and if we're going to be breaking down, it's actually going to look pretty terrible. But what we're currently seeing on this market is that Bitcoin is forming indeed on the weekly time frame, guys. Yes, oh yes, a hidden bullish divergence. So what we're seeing is that the price action forming higher lows, the price action forming lower lows, and the moving average is forming, the price index, the RSI index, is forming an higher low. So indeed, we're right now seeing a bullish divergence getting formed on the RSI on the weekly time frame, and this is actually pretty strong if you would ask me here. It's a typical it was a regular bullish divergence, what is definitely a very strong signal in the market that there is definitely a very big chance for a very strong bounce over here right now. So do take that as well in consideration. Actually, if we're looking to the 1 hour candles and if we're going to be analyzing a little bit of its momentum behind it, it looks to be that we came down. We were going oversold here, basically, where we're not forming any bullish or bearish divergence on this market. But yeah, right now it looks to be that we find the bottom here, because the stock market as well was cooling off at that point, and right now it starts to be bouncing back up. Actually, what I will be looking forward towards is how this retest of the 36.4k is going to go here. Like you can do see over here, 36.4k was a major level of resistance in the past there, and if we're going to come up again, this is going to be a level that is going to be providing a lot of resistance again on this market. So if we're going to come up here, I am very excited about how Bitcoin is going to react towards it. If we are going to see a breakthrough of it, it's going to be actually look once again pretty more bullish. But if we're going to get another rejection, yeah, and likely follow through towards the downside is going to be what we're going to be anticipating from of that point of course. It's actually not that bad here. That's what someone is saying. Thank you so much, no problem. So yeah, let's dive a little bit further in towards the content, and as well let's dive in towards the US 500, the S&P 500, because like we do know here, Bitcoin is moving with these traditional markets. Bitcoin moves with traditional markets, and what we can see right now in the S&P 500 is actually a very bearish breakdown. And actually, while we are here, I want to be quickly tweeting about it here. Because yeah, this is of course a head and shoulders pattern that we are looking at, and this head and shoulders pattern is currently breaking down here. So let me quickly tweet about it so I can keep everyone up to date here on the market here. So the S&P 500, breaking down of its head and shoulders. So this is actually pretty terrible, of course, to see. This is actually pretty terrible to see the S&P breaking down of this head and shoulders pattern. Why is the S&P right now breaking down? It's because of the Russia-Ukraine stuff. Because Russia-Ukraine, of course, basically, coming down further with the war, basically invading. It's absolutely terrible, of course. And of course, European markets as well, more than 3% down today. And the S&P 500 is today already, if we're going to look at the daily candle, we can also see that we're already more than 3% down on today's candle, and it's actually pretty terrible. Let me see. Greetings all on this sad day. Yeah, indeed, it's definitely a rather sad day because yeah, this is basically the day that we're looking at maybe a potential World War III. Of course, it's not official World War III yet here, but it's absolutely terrible what is currently going on in the world, and it is also suppressing all markets. Of course, I'm not a politician or whatsoever, so I am not going to talk about like the war or stuff, you know. That's not my channel. I will be talking about the charts because that's what I do on my channel. I'm not going to talk about yeah, other stuff, of course, because I think that's not right to do so on this channel. The RSI is one of the most worst indicators. I think you're definitely wrong on that one because the RSI is one of the most best indicators to use in my opinion, and it is also one of the most important trading indicators, and it is also one of the most well-known indicators. So it's definitely very exciting what you can see over there. I don't think that the RSI is any of a bad indicator. I think if you're saying the RSI is a bad indicator, you have to do some more research on that one. Let me go over the Ethereum price section because since yesterday Bitcoin, yeah, basically, yeah, we did came down a little bit here, but besides of that, not a lot of have been changing since of that point here. So let's look at the daily time frame for Ethereum. Currently, I'm building up Ethereum positions because I'm pretty greedy on Ethereum because I do think we are looking for pretty bullish stages in the longer term here. If we're going to, by the way, look at funding rates, we have never seen such significant negative funding rates for a while here. Like you can see, I'm quickly going to enable. This is only Binance here. Like you can see over here. Binance basically always moves the funding rates here. If Binance goes negative with the funding rates, it shows you a very good accumulation range. If Binance goes negative with the funding rates, it shows you a very good long range. So what we can see over here, guys, and if you don't know already, this is definitely a thing to look into for you guys out there. We have never seen so negative funding rates on the market. Like you can see right now, exactly above my head here, exactly here, you can see how negative we went with these freaking funding rates. And you can as well look back, at the past. And if we're going to look at the past here, you can see in the September correction, we went negative with the funding rates. That was your accumulation range here. That is how it works in this cryptocurrency market. Then we saw October, November, extremely high funding rates. So the market was rather over-leveraged towards the upside, while it is right now over-leveraged towards the downside. So exactly the opposite way here. That was your shorting signal. That was your signal to be more afraid. But usually people don't tend to do that. People are greedy once the market is up. People are fearful once the market comes down here. Right now we can see these funding rates are extremely negative. And I say extremely negative. This is absolutely epic to see these funding rates being so negative as well on Bybit. You can clearly see here, we have been experiencing very significant negative funding rates as well on OKX. We have seen significant negative funding rates on UOB as well. We have seen it on all kinds of exchanges. And right now, I think, of course, like I told everyone before, Binance is the most important exchange to look at if we're going to be studying open interest and if we're going to study interest rates here. But this is absolutely crucial. The open interest right now being so negative is just giving us a signal that are you going to step in with those shorters? Are you going to step in with those shorters? Well, the market is already overshorted and the chance on the short squeeze is still significantly more higher. I mean, I have been waiting for a short squeeze for a while right now, but it is going to come. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in the coming weeks, it is definitely going to come. There is going to be a short squeeze that will be occur on this market, and probably everyone will be getting caught off guard again. So I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to pump today. I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to pump tomorrow, but it is more about the bigger picture. Are you going to run a short Bitcoin? Your risk of taking a short position is so significantly more higher than building up a long position right now here, since if you're going to open a short position, you have to pay so much funding, and there is already so much shorters out there, so the chance of course winning a short is going to be less likely. So the risk is just for me too high to open a short position. I'm not saying open and long, I'm not saying open a short or whatsoever, but I'm only saying your risk is sustainable higher if you're going to be opening those short positions once the market is so over leveraged. And it's of course not only Bitcoin, it's all freaking cryptocurrencies. All the currencies out there are so over leveraged towards the freaking downside. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Of course, Tether, absolutely like minus 0.06%. That's extremely high negative funding rates. Of course, you can see it across the border. Everything is over leveraged towards the downside. So everyone is using all their power that they do currently have in the market to try to drag this market down here. And of course, I am not really shorting anything currently, actually, because I am not really an anti-Bitcoiner. I love the Bitcoin network. So if you're here in for the technology, you should be never, leverage Bitcoin whatsoever, of course. So please do know it. It is going to be very important to look at, but it is actually looking so terrible here. I think it's important to know there's too much leverage getting used towards dragging this market down, and that is why the chance of an extremely big short squeeze is very likely to occur. So be careful, be warned, and don't fall for all the fear, of course. Because once there is blood in the streets, we should be greedy, exactly. But Russia, Ukraine is already priced in. That's indeed true. Like the Russia, Ukraine, this is what happens once Russia invaded Ukraine. It's right now priced in the market. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Guys, let me know who's been selling in the past 48 hours. Let me know in the chat. Guys, it's just well new. Like, Russia is into Bitcoin. We know it. Russia is into Bitcoin. But look as well. Look at this. Look at the Russia gold reserves. It is absolutely pretty crazy. I don't know if this is a very nice graph that we can see over here. No, I want to be seeing a graph because I like discussing graphs, of course. But yeah, this is basically, this shows us how much, let me open this in a new tab, like here. So basically what we can see is that Russia has been accumulating so much more gold in the recent years. They have been basically fifth time doubled, 5 times as many gold as they had in 2008. So in the past 14 years, they literally increased their gold holdings with more than 400%. Russia. Why? Is because maybe they're anticipating something like this here. Because what they're doing right now as well is hitting the whole world economic system. They're hitting the US dollar. The US dollar is taking a big hit over here as well. Currencies, stock markets, American companies, they're all taking a very big hit here. So Russia is of course hugely invested in gold here. So that is also why the gold price action has been increasing a little bit over the couple days here, and why it is absolutely skyrocketing right now here. Now it's not really skyrocketing, it is moving up. Why is it moving up here? Is because it moved up approximately 10% in the last 27 days. Why has it been moving up here, gold? Because people saying, oh, gold was such a better buy than Bitcoin. I wish I just was holding gold here. I mean, gold is moving up because Russia have been buying in towards gold, and they're right now declaring war, and it's actually pretty good for gold because they are holding gold. That's how it works, you know? So the currencies are dying, and gold is increasing in valuation. But what people don't understand yet is that that Russia has been also investigating in towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and in towards the metaverse, etc., etc. They're investing their time and money and due diligence in towards the cryptocurrency space here. So are we going to eventually get the same effect here on the market? I personally think yes here, because there is right now major opportunities for big companies to step in towards this market. And while these big companies are trying to step in towards the market, they're buying for a very cheap price here. And while the average Joe is selling off right now here, he will be probably buying back once the market is back at all-time highs here. So definitely very interesting what we can see on this market right here. And I personally think I mean, I am definitely not falling. I don't care if the market is going to come down to 20k, 30k. I don't think we're ever going to see a Bitcoin below 20k. If Bitcoin ever goes below 20k, I already told everyone I will be giving away one whole Bitcoin, because then I don't even care anymore. Because then, I mean, I can accumulate so much more Bitcoins that it will indeed give away one whole Bitcoin if Bitcoin ever comes below the 20,000 US dollars, what I totally do not believe in. But yeah, let's see what is going to be happening. We just have to wait. We just have to be patient, but I definitely don't believe we're going to see so. Dollar is going down too. Let me quickly check up on the DXY here. So the dollar index has been spiking a little bit here. We are still waiting for the dollar index to come down here, actually. I mean, I am still waiting for the dollar index to come down, because every single time the dollar index comes down here, basically shows us that the price action of Bitcoin is going back in towards a bullish stage on the market. Every single market correction, and of course yesterday I dropped a video out of it. So guys, if you have not seen the video yet here, I should definitely suggest checking out the video. Why we could be seeing a new bull run in 2022. I explained in that video about what I'm currently seeing in the DXY here, and what I'm currently seeing in correlation with the Bitcoin price section as well, because it is actually looking pretty interesting if you would ask me over here. So make sure to check out that video that I uploaded yesterday. I think it's a pretty good video to check up on right now here. So As well, guys, we've been seeing a significant amount of shorts getting entered in the market here. This is the bitfinex shorts, and we can see that there is an approximately, let me quickly enable the daily time frame, that we've seen an approximately 1600 Bitcoin equaling a price of, let me quickly open my calculator if it loads up here, equaling the price of an approximately 1600 58 million US dollars, and approximately 58 million US dollars got entered in short positions in the past 7 days here. What does it mean here? It means there's a lot of extra sell pressure in the market, because the more shorts that are in the market, the more sell pressure will be getting as well enabled in this market. So actually pretty bearish that so many short actives orders are getting active. But like what you know as well, once short orders are spiking, it usually shows us a bottom. Yeah, it sounds weird, but once shorts are spiking, it usually shows us a bottom. Is because once the shorts are spiking, there is a more significant chance on the short squeeze, and the price actually could be moving up in a more significant pace. So do take that in consideration. Once the majority of the people are going to trade short, we should be looking on the other way. So as well, let me quickly check up on the oil price. I mean, I don't know which oil we should be looking at. US oil almost 97, but like oil prices are rising across everywhere. Oil price, yeah, let me quickly check up here. Crude oil. Yeah, I mean, the price of oil is absolutely skyrocketing everywhere. Why? Is because, yeah, Russia is basically the supplier of oil and petrol in all European countries, guys. If you don't know already, Russia is the provider. Oh my gosh, look at my camera. I thought it was fixed. Come on, fix it. Okay, I once again forgot to disable in the setting here my camera. But camera blurry, that's what everyone's saying. Your face is blurry. I mean, guys, it's actually a terrible camera. I don't know. It's not like the best camera out there. I literally bought 2 new cameras, and they're still doing the same stuff here. So I do know it, guys. I will be trying to fix it in the meantime. But let me go further in my story here, because what we do know here is that Russia is the main provider of oil for all the European countries. And I don't know why it is so flipping blurry. Come on, come on. Why do you have to be so blurry? Ah, there it is. So yeah, there it is. So what we do know here is that because Russia is the supplier of all the oil in Europe, the oil prices are rising because we are not really taking oil of Russia anymore. So it is definitely very expensive. Like, I can tell you, I live in the Netherlands. Dutch petrol prices. So I will be quickly show you. If you want to be buying 1 liter, or one gallon, if you're from the US, like 1 liter, so you're currently €2.05. So $2.30 for 1 liter of petrol. It's like pretty crazy what we do currently have in the Netherlands. And like yesterday, I was just filling up my car, and it was like so expensive for like one fuel, you know. I was just refueling, and it was so expensive because normally it's around $1.60, but right now it's around $2.30. So it's actually very expensive right now. Of course, we do have, inflation. We do have all these other stuff as well. And that's the reason why the prices are rising so significantly. But mainly it's because of the tensions between Russia and Ukraine here right now. I had a 600% short. It was nice to be bouncing back. Play level. I mean, if you're in a 600% short, out of experience, like, you should not start to become too greedy. If you're 600% short, you're doing an absolutely perfect job, my man. I mean, congratulations. You're absolutely crushing this market. But please, do take a little bit of advice there. Don't start to become too greedy. Lock in some profits. It's important. Once you go towards next levels, lock in more and more profits, because there is going to be definitely a turning point. We don't know when here, but I can guarantee you there is going to be a turning point. And with these negative funding rates, it is suggesting and it is showing us that the market is so over leveraged towards the downside that a turning point can come very quickly. In US California, you can fill up $5 for a gallon. I mean, $5, that's like half of the price. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. $4.50 for a gallon. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, it's definitely different in European countries right now with petrol and gas. So it's pretty crazy. There it goes, indeed. Let's see if we could start to see Bitcoin coming up again. But let's go further in towards Ethereum, guys. I was not even done with my Ethereum analysis. So Ethereum currently forming a huge bullish divergence. Could be forming a huge bullish divergence. What we can see in the market is that we are currently, if we're going to compare the lows to each other, it looks to be that we're coming down a little bit further. What is going to be important in this chart right now here to see is that we are seeing horizontal support getting broken currently. If we're going to close this daily candle below it, it's actually not going to look all too bad here. It's actually going to be looking pretty interesting if you would ask me here. Why am I saying so? Is because if we're going to close the horizontal support, if we're going to close below this horizontal support, we are going to be looking to form a major bullish divergence, because then if we're going to compare the RSI, we're seeing significant increasement in price and a significant decreasement in a market price and a significant increasement in the RSI. So then we could be looking for a very strong divergence on this market, and that could be actually be a very good play that we can be taking here. And it will be a major opportunity to trade the market back towards the upside. So actually it's going to be not looking all too bad right now as well. What we could be looking at is maybe a potential double bottom scenario, and then we are going to be climbing back up from this point, and then we're going to be just look extremely bullish in my opinion here. If we're going to create a double bottom on this market, we're definitely going to see a major spike in price action from that point then. Right now, of course, we do know that the Russia war is included and priced in towards the market, what is pretty good here. So it probably won't get much more worse. Only what could get a little bit more worse in the price action is an overreaction from certain persons, because yeah, if the wars maybe they're going to be stepping in towards a different place or whatsoever. The price action could be even see a more further reaction. But personally, I do right now think the price action of Russia-Ukraine invasion is right now priced in, and the next things that we could be getting towards the downside is just going to be an overreaction. So we're definitely coming closer and closer towards a place where we are going to start to see a potential bottom. If we're going to look at the RSI on the 4-hourly time frame from the previous lows, not forming a bullish divergence, actually pretty terrible and unfortunate to see here. It was getting pretty oversold on the 1-hour time frame, and actually, if we're going to look at an support/resistance line here, you can clearly see that we are maybe potentially forming and downward sloping. No, that's not really my most favorite pattern to look at actually. But from the 4-hourly time frame perspective, yeah, you could be approaching like a downward sloping support line is getting formed on this market, and this downward sloping support line is looking like a very strong level that's so far holding up the price action on Ethereum. So once again, suggesting we are definitely not at a bad accumulation range here. As well, what we can see, if we're going to look at horizontal support on Ethereum, it shows us that we're right now back on horizontal support ranges, because yeah, last time around we saw a lot of significant bounces from this range here. Like you can see here, we've got a supportive touch. Here we went below it a little bit. Support. So basically, this level that we're right now trading on already showed us in the past a lot of supportive touches, and hopefully it could be once again see a further significant increasement from this point to grow from here on. It will be pretty important. And max fear on the next one. Let me quickly see on how the fear and greed index. Of course, fear and greed index is not necessarily updating right now, because yeah, it updated like it will be updating 15 hours ago, so it is currently not including this significant correction in the market that we got over there. So if we're going to price in that significant correction over there as well, yeah, the fear and greed index could be standing a little bit lower. But once again here, the market has been ruling in fear. We've been seeing fear ruling across the market, basically showing all time along good accumulation, because the more fear we're going to see in this freaking market, the more greedy I will be starting to become. And of course, you maybe think, oh, but like I see a lot of people saying, but this is the end. I see you on the 20K. I see you on the 10K Bitcoin. But I think like people that are right now saying Bitcoin is going to go to 10K or 15K or 5K, but what people are saying, I think those people are like all bought at the top here on this market. I mean, for me, I think it is absolutely stupid to say that Bitcoin is indeed going to see a 10K target. It would be absolutely make no sense here with all the inflation that's currently going on in the world, and Bitcoin being definitely the hedging position. But still, I don't care if Bitcoin going to come down towards 10k. It doesn't mean I'm broke. It doesn't mean that I'm screwed. No, if Bitcoin coming down to 10k here, it means that I will be buying more and more and freaking more. That's going to be here. Fear and greed index is going to be negative. I mean, it definitely, there isn't big opportunity now. It's of course not possible for the fear and greed index to go negative. Actually, this 1 hour candle on Bitcoin is also looking pretty terrible. We saw a minor pump towards the upside getting enabled, but right away afterwards we saw a significant wick getting created. So if we look at the very low time frames, we saw a major run up getting started, and right now it looks to be that we're undoing all our hard work and once again coming down here. So still, sell pressure is of course the leading factor in the market. We're still seeing the bears in control. It's resetting since previous lows. It should set max fair. It is actually war. It is actually war. I mean, Russia literally declared they are going to invade Ukraine. So I do see this as war. Ukraine has said they will do everything to stop the Russians to come to Kiev. So that's going to be pretty interesting how that's going to be playing out over here, of course. European Union pledges Russia to be accountable for the barbaric attack. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. There's so much stuff going on in the world right now. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies dropped more than 8% since the tumble of Russia into Ukraine. I literally woke up and I saw this and I thought, oh no, are we really going to have World War III restarting over here right now? That will be absolutely terrible, of course. So in this video, he says Russia is invading Ukraine. So it was pretty interesting what we did saw over there. Dow Jones more than 600 points down here, the Dow Jones. So Russia has so much influence on all the markets right now, left and right, of course. So another article 39 minutes ago here, Bitcoin dips 12% as Russian rumble hits all-time low against the US dollar Ukraine military operation. So yeah, Bitcoin, of course, falling further down. It's absolutely terrible free fall that we're currently in here. I mean, Bitcoin is just like skydiving towards the downside. It's not really a good thing to see here, of course. Arguments both ways for the Bitcoin price outlook. Yeah, this is basically other people giving their opinions. So the US dollar against the Russian. Oh, that's pretty interesting, actually. Let me quickly check this up here. So let me see which chart this was they were looking at. Russian ruble. I was looking at the right chart. US dollar against the Russian ruble. I mean, apparently, what we can see is that the US dollar is spiking significantly against the Russian ruble. So the dollar is gaining strength against the Russian currency, and that is pretty good for them, at least, because Russian purchasing power is coming lower and lower. But if you do look at national debt, Russia, you know what's like. The thing is, like, Russia is way more prepared for everything, because if we do look at the debt of Russia, is right now around, let me quickly see, yeah, Russia debt ratio is 19% here. So the debt ratio of Russia is 19%, but if we do look at the national debt for the US, it is approximately way more. Where it is? No, it is around 60%. Around the 60%, I do know. So the debt is way higher from the US than Russia, so they're way better economically prepared for, let's say, if their war is going to be happening. As well, there are no loans anymore from like usually the like America, the US is going to say, okay, we're going to give sanctions to Russia. Russia, you're not allowed to borrow money anymore from the US. But you know, they already stopped borrowing money from the US like 20 years ago. They right now have no debt to the US anymore. So that's also another sanction that the US can't use anymore against Russia. So it's absolutely pretty terrible what we are currently seeing here, and hopefully it's still going to be pretty good here. But it's pretty interesting. US dollar against RUP. Yeah, let's quickly see if this works. Oh. Yeah, this is it. So, I mean, actually, like, it had a movement up here, but not necessarily very strongly. Yeah, looking pretty interesting. Yeah, the RUP is basically losing, the Ruby is basically losing value against the dollar the whole time already. So, yeah, interesting to see. Do you think Cardano will die out? I mean, I've already, like, Cardano is indeed like an asset that you should be a little bit more cautious with. Cardano moved up pretty significantly again. It's I thought it was trading on the 80 cents, trading on 92 cents again. Wait, I already thought so. 77%, 77 cents. I already thought it was moving down. So Cardano will die off. I mean, we do know that Cardano is an asset was pretty overhyped. Yeah, indeed, I totally agree. I don't think that Cardano is the best investment to do so. And I've been already like as well stepped out a little bit. I took some losses on Cardano. Of course, eventually it's not losses because I bought on $3 all my Cardano. But I stepped out of Cardano as well a little bit here because Cardano was basically an overhyped project that probably will be taking a very big hit right now. Will we probably take a long time to recover back towards the upside. So Cardano, not my most favorite project to invest in right here. And definitely think that I'm staying away from as well. Currently still has a $25 billion market capitalization. But I do expect, yeah, it can take an even bigger hit, yes. But most importantly, it's going to recover not so strong. I don't believe that Cardano is going to be one of these coins that is going to recover very quickly and very strongly. Because, like, they have been promising their smart contract platform for such a long period of time, and like it got released and like nothing really happened, and it was not like a revolutionary platform, was not anything revolutionary that Cardano did brought out on the market. So it was a project that was getting hyped and was moving up in price action because people were anticipating a major release. Then the release did happen, and it was not necessarily really helping in its price action and the further development. So yeah, I think the hype is behind Cardano a little bit gone right now. What we do know in cryptocurrencies is that it usually is running with hype run-ups towards the upside. And since the hype run-up of Cardano is right now really cooling up a little bit here, yeah, it could be definitely a more period to be a little bit more cautious with Cardano. Indeed, I am also not necessarily buying Cardano right now. I am buying into altcoins, but not Cardano right here. Because I think that Cardano, like I told you, is going to be one of these altcoins that's going to take a very hard time with recovering back towards the upside as well. Like you can see, it's taken one of the biggest hits here, 30% down here, almost in the past 7 days. So definitely very good. Yeah, very sad morning indeed. I mean, indeed, very sad morning. I saw someone saying, why are you going to live stream? It's like a very bad period in the world. Why are you streaming? Why are you uploading videos? Now, like, I can sit back in my room and like think about what is happening in the world and do nothing, or I can just continue with life and try to make the best day out of it as possible, of course, right? So yes, I think it's absolutely terrible. I think it's definitely one of the most terrible things that can be happening in the world is war. No one wants to have war, but it doesn't, like, if war breaks out or whatsoever, it doesn't mean that I'm going to sit in a corner and cry and be scared the whole time, you know? I'm trying to still give it everything, and at the same time, I'm trying to help the world to revolutionize the world. And what I like to do is, of course, talk more about Bitcoin, because I still believe if there's going to be anything of an invasion whatsoever, I still believe Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to be the future of the next revolution. So, I mean, yeah, I can sit in a corner, start crying, be scared, etc., but it doesn't really going to help me and help other people towards the next level. So, yeah, it's absolutely terrible. I totally agree. I'm buying Cardano. That's definitely everyone can do so. So many altcoins are already down 80%. It's absolutely crazy indeed. Or if I hope for once you're bearish. I mean, on the imminent short term, maybe, yeah, I'm pretty neutral on the imminent short term, but longer term, no, I'm not bearish at all. 21K is going to be for sure hit in the next weeks. Like this is like so many people are like there's so much bearish sentiment currently ruling in the market. That just gives me a signal to still accumulate further on. And I've been accumulating all time along here. Between the 30 towards 50K range, I've been accumulating, and I don't regret any accumulation, any buy I did actually. And there are so many people still saying, oh, Bitcoin is going to 20K, 10K, and I think those are pretty terrible targets to be looking at, not realistic targets actually to be looking at as well in terms of sell pressure. It is not likely because there's so much more hodlers stepping in towards the market to ever come down towards 20K. I mean, everyone said, okay, once Russia is going to invade Ukraine, we're going to go to 10K. Russia invaded Ukraine. The price is right now included in what we're seeing here because Russia invaded Ukraine and it's priced in. And we're trading on 35.4K right now. So I don't really like it can get a little bit more worse, but much more worse than this. It is about not to get here. So no, I'm not too scared actually over here. 21K is outrageous. I mean, that's the point. I do totally agree with that. I think like 32, maybe 33 could be still pretty realistic, but still pretty low. But below 30K is going to be definitely very hard. I mean, I would say below 29,000 US dollars is going to be very hard for it to go to. I'm legit 1 year in and the worst shit happened. I mean, that's pretty terrible. Like, I think it's one side is bad, one side is good, because right now you're learning the hard way to hodl, because hodling Bitcoin is definitely very hard here. It's not easy to hodl Bitcoin. Hodling Bitcoin is only for a certain amount of people. I mean, hodling Bitcoin is hard because people tend to be panic selling, and you right now have to choose a side. Are you on the side of the panic sellers, or are you on the side of the hodlers that have a long-term vision for investing in Bitcoin? Because I always thought, and I always said to myself, at the moment I bought Bitcoin, that I have bought Bitcoin for the long term. I bought Bitcoin today to sell it maybe in 10 to 15 years, to buy something with it in 10 to 15 years. Not today, not tomorrow, you know? So Amir, what have you been doing? Thank you so much for enjoy your call in the chat. You've been in support for 12 months. I'm here for 12 months. That's absolutely crazy. Amir, I mean, I can't forget your name. You're an absolutely legend. And like 12 months, that's absolutely crazy. Is the color right now different after 12 months? Good news. One good news, indeed. We've got a little bit of good news. Amir has been here for 12 months. So actually not only terrible news, and right away Bitcoin starts to be coming up again as soon as, Amir told us he's been here for 12 months. So Amir, absolutely big shout out to you. I think the whole chat already knows who you are. I mean, you're an absolutely legend, of course. So, let me see. It won't go below 32 towards 30K because Elon Musk, Michael Saylor bought at that price. That is definitely a fact here. They bought at those prices, and that's also a reason why the chance is way less significant to go below that level. Of course, there are going to be as well big companies, big players, big individuals looking to be buying around this range here. Since we're coming back towards levels where Elon Musk, where MicroStrategy, etc., has been accumulating. So a lot of big other players and big parties see this as fair accumulation ranges, right? They've been waiting for this price a very, very long time, and they're buying up the fear currently. That is what literally happening. And at one point, the sell pressure will be gone. There's not going to be enough selling, and there's still accumulation is going around, and then the market is going to surge again. And that's what will be happening eventually, because we have seen articles. We've been reading articles that there are more and more hodlers coming in towards this market because more and more people are investing into cryptocurrencies for the longer term, and it's going to be likely that we are going to see this trend continue towards the upside. So, yeah, I'm very curious about where we're heading towards, and people that are like, I see some people saying, "Oh, I sold all of my Bitcoin off. I'm so happy. I sold all my Bitcoin. I right now up 2% because the market moved down 4%, and I sold my Bitcoin 4% higher. I'm a gangster." But you know, you can maybe sell off your Bitcoin to be buying back cheaper, but when are you going to be buying? Are you still waiting? I mean, yeah, maybe you're going to get wrecked. Maybe Bitcoin pushes up towards 40,000 US dollar right now. No one knows here, because this is crypto. This is Bitcoin. You are not going to time the market with your holding positions. You never time the market with your holding position, because that's one of the most terrible decisions to make. You sell off to potentially buy cheaper. Be careful, because I've done it in 2017. I've done it in 2018. I've tried it in 2016. It is a terrible strategy. I know it out of experience. Sell your Bitcoin right now at a loss and I'm trying to be buying back cheaper is one of the most worst strategies I've heard, because no one is going to know. No one, not even, no one is going to know exactly where the bottom is here. It's just Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin. We move with news. We move right now with this news article of Russia, Ukraine. We came down. Market was actually looking pretty strong here, but the news screwed it over. We came down, and that's what we have to accept right now. But we're not going to sell our Bitcoin right now to potentially buy back cheaper. I think that's a terrible decision to do so, because at that point, that is how people are going to be buying back higher. Because there are people right now screaming for 20k Bitcoin, and they're very happy they sold off their Bitcoin at 35k, and they're right now going to wait a little bit. I mean, I'm not taking that piece of the pie, man. I'm just casually going to be waiting. I'm casually going to be waiting till we are going to recover, because we are going to recover. You also see the W in the 4 hourly time frame. Let me quickly enable the 4 hourly time frame over here. Actually, I don't really see a W of. I mean, yeah, we could be looking at the bigger scale W for sure. You could even approach this on the daily time frame then. Like on the 4 hourly time frame, I don't necessarily see a W, unless you mean this one, Amir. Do you mean this one on the bigger scale? Could be for sure possible, but you could be as well approach this one on the daily time frame. Like I already basically did approach this one on the daily time frame, but I will be only play this if the market is definitely going to be flipping bullish and of course come up again. If the market right now closes this daily candle back above 36.8k, market is going to close back above the 36.8k, then we're going to come up towards 44,000 US dollars. Then we're going to be looking extremely bullish here in my case, and we could be looking for a very bullish continuation towards the upside. So I look forward towards what we're going to get from this point here. Don't worry about the unrealized gains / losses if you're holding. Do you think the whales are losing millions of dollars a day, and in unrealized gains they are worth? I mean, the point indeed, like whales are losing millions of dollars every single day right now in this downtrend in unrealized losses, but at the same time they're accumulating more in towards the market, creating more unrealized losses because the market is coming down. But those whales don't have a short-term vision on the market. Yeah, the big one, yeah. I mean, yeah, we could be looking at the W structure, but like, guys, for this W to play out on the daily time frame, we do need some more confirmations. We We can't say we are having a W right now and I'm going to trade it. That's not how you should play. I think it's a terrible strategy to play it that way. What you can do is wait a little bit here. Wait till we're going to get a confirmation that this daily candle is going to close above this level, or that the daily candle is at least going to hold on to 35,000 US dollars. Then wait for an increasement back towards the neckline. If we do break the neckline, that's actually your least amount of risk entry. Yeah, you could already enter right here and keep your position open, but your risk is most certainly higher. But if we're going to come up here back towards the neckline, then we're going to see a significant W. Then the W perfectly played out, and everyone is going to flip bullish again on the market. That's what probably is going to be happening, in my opinion. Right now, it's definitely dubiously speculating that we could be creating a W pattern, because Bitcoin still has to be moving up towards that range, right? We don't know for sure if it's going to do so. So it's definitely speculation right now here, and it's not really part of necessarily my strategy. Like I told everyone before, I am already in some Bitcoin and Ethereum positions. I'm currently in an Ethereum trade that is literally neutral, is right now in 0.5% profit. It's like a small position, only with a few Ethereums I entered the trade, and I'm planning to maybe drive it up a little bit towards higher levels, of course. So I don't know exactly where we'll be riding it towards, but currently, yeah, I'm looking forward towards taking this straight towards levels around 3,000 to 5,000, and maybe even beyond, because I do believe that Ethereum is going to go in towards this new bull run phase here. Why? Is because the merge is going to come out this summer, and that could be resulting in significant price growth for Ethereum, right? And I believe that Ethereum can literally touch new all-time highs because of the merge that is going to roll out at that point, of course. So yeah, I look forward towards what could be happening and where we could be heading towards for the Ethereum price action. And I'm just very excited about what we're going to see in terms of growth of the asset and growth of the cryptocurrency of Ethereum, especially once the merge comes out there. I mean, a run up towards 10,000 US dollars would even be very logic to be expecting, and a lot of people still do not anticipate that at all. So yeah, let's see where we're going to head towards from this point. I think accumulating Ethereum around the 2,400 US dollars is absolutely a cheap amount to look at, and it is definitely very overpowered to be accumulating your tokens and assets around these levels over here. Market is over leveraged, market is afraid, and I'm trying to be benefiting from it to take this market back towards higher levels again. Look at this, funding rate is so negative, and people still think the market is going to go to zero right now. Well, everyone is already shorting this market, and like I do talk to you, not everyone is going to become crypto rich. It's a certain amount of people. And since the most amount of people are right now shorting, it is not smart to short this market with those majority of those people. You counter trade the majority of the people, then you're going to start become profitable. You counter trade your emotions, then you're going to start become profitable, because your emotions are right now saying, I have to sell off because Russia is invading Ukraine. They are going to crash the market. It's absolutely going to go zero because of that. The market already is so red. I see so much red. I will be selling, It's not how you should be playing the game. But indeed, Amir, like you were saying, on the bigger picture 4-hourly time frame, we could be creating a beautiful 4-hourly W structure. If we're going to come up again here, we're going to climb in a rapid pace here. Would be lovely to see. What I would love to see is, of course, Bitcoin, of course, closing its daily candle still above this 36.4K level, because that will be definitely suggesting and showing us that we are seeing still more strength in this market rather than weakness. So, it's going to be important how the market is going to react towards it. In exactly 1 minute from now on, we're actually going to as well close the 1 hour candle, guys. So let's quickly witness this. Russia-Ukraine conflict might be delaying the interest rates getting hiked, but it is priced in anyway. And let's say indeed. That's a very good one. Indeed, like the interest rates and Russia invading Ukraine is already priced in towards the cryptocurrency market, because everyone knows, everyone has been talking about it, it's priced in. And if they're not going to raise it, it's going to skyrocket. And if they raise the interest rates, everyone thinks the market is going to fall. It's going to be actually rising. Why? Is because it's already priced in. There's so many people that stepped out of this market because they're afraid. They think it's going to go to zero, and it's looking good. Fear and greed index is currently not at 3. It's currently at 23 here, but it's still not priced in this massive correction over here. So if they price in this correction over here as well, probably will be sitting around 50, 60 maybe. At the long. Yeah, let's see what the weekend is going to do. It's going to be definitely, once again, be a very interesting weekend that's coming up right here. It's 10 o'clock right now at my place, and we opened a new 1 hour candle. So let's see where we are heading towards on this one over here. Be lucky to stay above the 30K today. I mean, apparently we are lucky to stay above 30K. I think we're definitely going to stay above 30K today here. That's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't think that I have any influence on pumping or dumping coins here, actually, my man. Yeah, for sure. Maybe. Yeah. Let's see what is going to happen later today. It's definitely going to be a very interesting day, especially once the US is as well really waking up here. I do know we've got some US viewers, but like in approximately 5 hours from now on, all the US people are going to be waking up, and we're going to see some. And we're going to see what is going to be happening from that point. Crypto trading, no. If Putin goes into Kiev, I will be deploying everything. That's, I mean, if they go into Kiev, yeah, maybe we could be seeing another minor correction, maybe another overreaction, I should say here, because it's already calculated into the price here. The fear has been already calculated into the price, and right now we're seeing the last fear shakeouts. And once everything is done, yeah, maybe we could then start to finally increase. But I personally think that everything is priced in here. Just like the interest rate hike is priced in towards the market. Russia-Ukraine invasion is priced in towards the market. Those things are already priced in towards the market. So are we necessarily going to see below Bitcoin going below 30K? It's not very likely to expect that, actually. Guys, what do you think is going to be happening earlier? 20k or 100k? Let me know in the chat here. Let me make up a poll here. What will happen first? So, is it going to be 100,000 US dollars for Bitcoin, or is it going to be 20,000 US dollars? I mean, let me know what you guys think here. What is going to be happening first, 20k or 100k? Of course, 20k is like way closer than 100k. But let's see. 200 EMA acting as support on the 4-day. Let me quickly check up on the EMAs. So, like you do probably already know my channel, I'm not the biggest fan of moving averages. Yeah, here we don't have the 200 EMA. Let me. On the 4-day. The 4-day is not really a time frame I look at actually. Indeed, the 4-day is indeed getting supported right now by the 200, the moving average. Let me look at the weekly time frame actually. Oh, in this chart it's just loading up, of course. Let me go to the BLX chart, is better. Let me remove the drawings. So let's see on the weekly time frame what the 100 moving average is doing actually. So yeah, let's see what's going to be happening. So currently on the 100-day moving average, where we basically have been seeing a lot of touches from. The market has been seeing a rejection, and the bull run was basically getting started since we were touching it last time around here. We're currently touching it again. So far we're holding up towards it. Let's see if we could hold on towards 100-day moving average. Sorry, the 100 weekly moving average. So it's going to be pretty interesting to be looking at right now here. Like you can see, last time we did touch it, we started the bull run. And once we went below it, we were in this bearish phase. Here's well bearish phase. Here we saw significant bounce back towards the upside. And again, right now we're about to be touching it once again, and that could be maybe have bullish consequences. So I see what is happening first, 100k or 20k. Everyone is voting for 20k. Currently it's 60% 20k voting. Of course, I'm very excited about where we're heading towards. Of course, I'm definitely appreciating you guys. I appreciate everyone that you are taking your time to vote here. I think it's pretty cool that everyone is trying to get the vote out there. Putin had a big pump, and then Russia-Ukraine dumped. That's pretty unfortunate. But currently, I can see a lot of people are anticipating a 20k earlier than a 100k Bitcoin. So that is pretty interesting, actually. That's pretty interesting, if you would ask me. I was not really expecting that so many people were voting for 20k Bitcoin first before seeing a 100k Bitcoin. Once again, giving me more thoughts on the market about how the majority of the people think here. So, I mean, I truly hope for 20k as well, because then I can be buying more Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin comes down to 20k, I can even buy more Bitcoins, then I can even become more rich in the future, because we all know Bitcoin is going to hit that 100k target, and it's just going to be a matter of time, of course. I will be quickly make a picture of this, guys. And I will be quickly set the date. I will quickly I've made a picture from it, with the date. So, I could show you guys, like in the future, what the people are going to think at that point, you know. So I like to always like make polls, and then use the polls in like a few weeks, few months, and see what is going to be right here. And of course, what I'm trying to do with these polls here is trying to educate you guys once again here, because I don't believe that we're going to see 20k first here actually, but let's see what we're going to have here. We're just have to like time will tell us all. Time will tell us all here. Maybe the bottom is in for over the weekend. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Thoughts on the recent XRP news? Tell me about the recent XRP news. I've actually not really read it in towards the XRP news here recently. I mean, not really my main my main focus actually. What do you think is better from here on, Chainlink or Cardano? I will definitely go with Chainlink. I love the Fair too. I mean, Fair is absolutely lovely. 20 cents XRP before 20k Bitcoin. Okay, that one is more fair actually. How much money have you lost? I've lost a lot. Let's say from from the high to the low, I've lost. I will be not going in details but I lost more than $1 million US from the high to the low right now already. So it's a lot of money that I've lost here in this period. But I'm still very happy because I've been buying more and more cheaper Bitcoin. So I've always got a long-term vision. I don't care where the market is going in towards for the short term. I do care about where the market is going towards a longer term period. So let me see. I'm praying for people in Ukraine. Same for me, man. It's absolutely terrible. So yeah, we have been trading in a bearish market right now for a very long sustainable period, right? So exactly like we recovered out of this May correction. Basically, look at this recovery period, right? So here we saw the exponential surge down, and let me quickly make up the right colors. Boom, boom, boom. This was basically the exponential correction phase, right? After the exponential correction phase, we had this first initial rally period over here. You can see first initial rally period. Then we had another correction phase here in the market. Let me make this orange. So the market reversals basically always go in 3 phases, right? Exponential surge, minor run up, and then the last correction before moving up again. So what we saw as well over here is like, this was the period over here on the top side of the market. This was the exponential rally towards the downside. Exponential rally towards the downside. Then we had the minor recovery phase. This was the first recovery phase we've seen in a while here. That was why everyone started to starting to become excited again. Then we're having, after the first recovery, another correction phase, and that's where we're in right now. So how long will this take? This next correction phase will take? We don't know yet. And after that, you start another major run up towards the upside, and it repeats over and over again. It repeats over and over again. But after these major market corrections, like this was not a major market correction. This was a 20% correction, right? Mid-cycle correction. This was a 55% correction over here. This over here was also a 50 to 60% correction, a 52% correction, right? So we have been once again in this not a mid-cycle correction. This is a mid-cycle correction. This one you have to give a different color, in my opinion, because this is a different kind of oh, why can't I select my box here? This is a different kind of a correction in the market. I can make this a different color. This is a mid-cycle correction, and this is the bullish periods in the market. Like there are different stages in a market. Like you can see over here, the blue phases are the most exponential phases in the market. Like you can see over here, right? These are the exponential price surges, and the others are mid-term accumulation. So right now we're once again in this period back because Bitcoin repeats itself all time over and over again, right? Here, significant correction. Then it had a minor recovery back towards the upside. It went in towards the second correction phase. And right now we're once again at this minor recovery back towards the upside. Second movement down phase here. So let's see how this phase is going to be playing itself out right now here. If we're going to be once again see a further increasement from up this point and further increasement from off this range over here. What would be lovely if that we're going to be dipping below the range over here, because that will be create even more fear, showing us an even better buying opportunity, because the more fear in the market, the more bullish I will become. So we don't know for how long this is going to be taking here, but if we're going to be as well look at how long like these periods have been taking of reaccumulation, 97 days there, and since of the downtrend over here that got started, we have been in a period of 107 days. So I think we're particularly close towards this new phase to be getting started here, and this new bullish market phase here to get started, because yeah, like the sentiment in the world is actually pretty bullish for Bitcoin, because yeah, we're seeing high inflations, we're seeing currencies dying off here, we're seeing currencies losing strength here, but still, yeah, Bitcoin comes down here. So exactly where Bitcoin is supposed to be built for is currently not really showing us and reflecting as the price surges. So it is definitely very interesting to be looking at, but we survived another 106 days right now in this downtrend. I personally think we're definitely very close towards a new phase here in the market again. 106 days is long. And what I always said here to everyone out there, this new reversal phase is going to get started once the funding rates go negative, extremely negative. And we're seeing the funding rates going negative, and still people are not waking up. There are so many people that are not waking up. So unfortunately, I can't go back in history. It's definitely very unfortunate. But if I could go back in history of this May correction, it was exactly the same. Like the funding rates were so negative left and right, And I was so bullish at that point, and everyone was hating on me because I was too bullish, because I was the guy that was buying the dip a freaking May, and everyone called me, oh, but Rover, I'm selling on my Bitcoin right now because Bitcoin is going to zero. And I said to everyone, okay, you're going to follow the stupid money that's already shorting the market. Go ahead. And right now, we're seeing the exact same sentiment in terms of the funding rates, in terms of the price, and in terms of the time, how long it has been taking. So it is once again a game that you have to be playing. We don't know exactly if it's going to reverse tomorrow, today, in a week, but we do know it is definitely at the stage that the accumulation is way lower risk here than it has always been before. So there are so many bears, like someone is saying in the chat, there's so many bears that are about to get wrecked here, but like there's still like a certain amount of people that like see the bigger picture of Bitcoin. People always look at the short term. People see red candles, they are selling off. But we have been in this correction phase for such a long sustainable period. It usually takes around to be 90 towards 120, 110 days. I think we're close. I think we're stepping into towards very close stages where we could see a new cycle getting started here towards the upside again. So I look forward towards it, and I will be casually waiting. Till we are going to be seeing this opportunity once again occur. So Bitcoin once again creeping up a little bit here, actually. Not all too strong here. Rover, yeah, guys. Maybe I have to apply for my job again. I used to work at McDonald's for 2 years. 3.5 years, 4 years ago, I worked at McDonald's, so maybe I have to apply back if Bitcoin really is going to go below the 20k level. So that's going to be absolutely terrible. I joined crypto at the worst time possible, November 2021. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe you joined it at the worst time possible, but you got exposed towards it. So actually, that's not all too bad here. I don't really think it is really bad if you maybe got exposed to crypto in 2021 November. Yes, it was a market peak here, but still you got exposed to crypto, and you're still belonging towards the top 3% of the world that they got exposed to crypto. So definitely very interesting. Yeah, that's true. You can only lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. The horse has to drink the water itself. That's true, Trustfire. The horse has to drink the water itself. That's going to be definitely very important. Like, yeah, we can lead him towards the water, but the end step, like everyone has to do it themselves always. So accumulating right now, yeah, double McDonald's, yes, indeed. At least that's what I'm doing. Let me know in the chat, guys, what you guys are doing out there as well there. So anyways, guys, I will be right now wrap up this live stream for a moment. It was, of course, an absolutely amazing stream to be here with you guys out there again. What I will be promising you guys is once there is going to be any developments in the market, that will be jumping back live here or drop out another update video. Of course, make sure to check out my recent video I uploaded. I think it's still a very relevant video to check out here. Why there's a potential bull run 2022 that still could be getting started here. I definitely would suggest to be looking in towards that video, because yeah, in that video I basically explain about what the coloration is between the dollar index and the Bitcoin price action right now. It's actually looking pretty interesting, if you would ask me. So guys, make sure to check out that video. Check out my Twitter, Instagram in the link description, of course, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.